What is the purpose of having a dream without planning to reach that dream? And what is the purpose of having a plan without actions to reach your plan? You are making choices every day. Why not make the choice to reach your dreams? Hello and good day. I'm Renee Perry, and welcome to Business Success Starts with Loving Your Work podcast. It has been said that you can make an eye-popping 35,000 choices every single day. This means roughly 2,000 decisions are made per hour, or one decision every 2 seconds. We aren't always realizing we are making decisions because they can be automatic and unconscious. Even when we are not making a decision, we are making a decision. Every move we make requires a choice. Every decision has its consequences, good or bad, and sometimes both good and bad. These consequences have led us to our life we are leading at this very moment. If we are not where we want to be in our life, then it's time to make different decisions and choices. When our decisions are unconscious, without a plan, it can lead us to a place where we wonder, how in the world did I get here? I don't like this place at all. I feel stuck. How do I get moving and get to a place I really want to be? A place that matters to me, a place that gives me purpose. We have spent the last 5 podcasts talking about the first essential element to being successful in business, which is loving your work, and the second essential element about how to differentiate your business in the marketplace. Today, we're going to talk about the last but not least third essential element to being successful in business, and that is to create and follow through with a plan. A plan that matters the most to you, a plan you can get behind and be excited to follow through with. A simple, yet meaningful plan. It's impossible to get what we are not clear about. Let me say that again. It's impossible to get what we are not clear about. Creating a plan that you consciously construct allows you to make purposeful choices and decisions to keep you on track to where you really want to go. When we want to experience something in particular, let's say for instance owning a business, and we choose not to have a plan to reach that dream, we are shooting arrows in the dark trying to hit a bullseye in order to make that dream a reality. It is really hard to reach something without planning for it because life happens and we become led by the dramas or the new shiny objects of the moment. A plan does not need to be complicated. You just need to be clear about what you really want, and you don't have to have it all figured out perfectly. As a matter of fact, life won't let you have it all figured out. Things will pop up to derail your plans, and then you will need to come up with another way to reach your goals. Don't get stuck on the how you get something accomplished. Instead, be prepared to figure out another way if a barrier is created in some way with your original plan. As Michael Jordan has said, obstacles don't have to stop you. If you run into a wall, don't turn around and give up. Figure out how to climb it, go through it, or work around it. Your plan will evolve through time, and that is how it should be because you evolve. That's why I believe in creating a plan once a year. Maybe you've reached your goals and you want more, or maybe you didn't reach your goals and you have changed your mind about what you want, or quite possibly you almost reached your goal and want to push on. Whatever the case may be, it's all moving you forward, which is what most of us want to feel, and not keeping you stagnant or stuck. Let me share with you 3 reasons why having a plan helps you and your business be more successful. Number 1, you identify your goals clearly. You identify your goals clearly. You have focus and clarity on what is really important, what matters the most to you and your business success. You have an easier time getting through roadblocks and obstacles along the way. Clarity is the opposite of indecision, confusion, and hesitation, which are all blocking your ability to achieve your goals. The second reason having a plan is important. You gain a tangible direction. Vision is the destination point, and goals is the plan to reach your destination point. Action steps are how you choose to get where you want to go. Without a clear vision, it's easy to get stuck. A plan with direction to a better future fires you up to take action. It gives you purpose and keeps you feeling inspired, passionate, and on track. And the third reason having a plan is important to your business success is because decision-making becomes effortless. Decision-making becomes effortless. When you are faced with choices, decisions, or opportunities, you will have an easier time choosing in favor of what matters to you the most, what your priorities are, based on your vision, your goals, your plan. A 2015 study by psychologist Gail Matthews showed when people wrote down their goals, they were 33% more successful in achieving them than those who formulated outcomes in their heads. Matthews stated, and I quote, "My study provides empirical evidence for the effectiveness of 3 coaching tools: accountability, commitment, and writing down one's goals." End of quote. If I didn't write down my business plan every year, I would have never prepared myself for retirement. It would have been so easy to follow the constant loop of putting out daily fires and handling my work and day-to-day life and never moving towards an end point. I don't spend much time on writing my plan out, to be honest. It's really a matter of checking in with myself to see where I am right now, which I do at the beginning of every year, and making decisions about what I now want to create and experience for the coming year. Your goals should be fairly lofty without being too overwhelming. With my vision of building a retirement plan, I broke it down into goals and action steps. Obviously, a vision can be lofty because it can be a dream that you want to turn into a reality. My vision of being able to retire has taken decades of goal setting and action steps. And I am now on my 3rd retirement plan because the first 2 didn't work out. The first plan was in 2010 after 25 years in business. My husband and I sold our heavy truck and equipment repair business and financed the guy who wanted to buy it. Because of the Great Recession, no bank was financing anyone at that time, and we wanted out regardless if the business sold or we liquidated. We were ready to change directions. It did sell, sort of. The guy who bought it was under contract to pay us monthly for 5 years. But after 4 months, he was no longer able to make the monthly payments to us. To make a really long story short, and it is a long story, I went to court, won the battle, and lost the war. Within 6 months, the guy filed bankruptcy. This forced me to make a different plan to retire. My retirement plan number 2. My husband and I went into a business contract in 2004, which was 6 years before we sold the business. And this plan was my backup retirement plan to the first plan before I knew that plan wasn't going to work. We went into contract with the owner of the building we were renting for our truck repair company. For 10 years, we were to pay him monthly for the whole industrial building, and it would give us the opportunity to rent unused building space of 16,000 square feet and around an acre of land. And the contract had a lease with an option to buy. We had agreed upon the buying price when the 10 years was up. Renting and managing industrial space turned out to be a really good deal for me, and it was something I really enjoyed doing. When the 10 years were up, we became entangled in a contract dispute because the owner went into a contract with a different buyer to buy it from under us, because our agreed price was much lower than he was able to get with this new buyer. After months of preparing for trial and spending too much money for an attorney I didn't trust, and feeling like I was just throwing good money after bad, I threw in the towel. Another plan out the window. I guess life had another plan for me, back to ground zero. My husband and I started a mobile repair business and decided to fill a niche in the commercial marine and equipment repair industry, only working on the big barges and boats on the river. Bingo. This business has been our ticket to retirement. Finally. This is the power of planning and keeping your focus and your vision alive. Psychologist Peter Gollwitzer suggests a key ingredient to the success of your goals is what he calls implementation intentions. These are when you visualize difficulties that might come up in pursuing your goal and then making a decision in advance on how you will handle them. Many goals get derailed by events that are unexpected, but not unimaginable. Maybe you were ready to start your business, but the permits are delayed. Maybe you became injured and are unable to finish some important tasks. Imagining obstacles in advance and deciding your response can make those responses more effective when the time comes. Since your motivation is usually highest when setting the goal, this planning can keep you from abandoning your goal when things get difficult. Where should you start? A plan begins with first acknowledging and recognizing what it is you really want in your life as a whole. What matters the most to you? And this begins with creating your vision. Determining your vision for what you really want for your life is the first step in building your plan. Setting your life vision comes before acknowledging your business or career vision. It's the starting point before deciding on anything else. Then, after taking the time to decide what you want and what matters the most to you in your life as a whole, then see how your business or career fits in. Your life vision may make it apparent you don't want to own your own business and would rather work for someone else. Or it may become apparent that owning a business is really something you want to do. When defining your vision statement, create 1 to 3 visions that are vitally important to you. Any more than that can become too overwhelming for your brain to process. I have sometimes seen where action steps are done based on where we are today without doing a vision statement first. And that can work if you're exactly where you want to be and want to expand on that. But if you are looking at your life, career, and/or business and wondering, how did I get here? And how do I get where I really want to be, what I really want to experience? Then start with doing a vision statement. Start from the place of, when my life is ideal, I am. And when you have determined that, then ask yourself, when my business or career is ideal, I am. And then break it down to goals and action steps. There are several ways to create your vision. I've been involved in many get-togethers where we do vision boards, and that can be a fabulous tool to decide what matters the most to you. I personally prefer to take a few minutes at the beginning of every year and write it down. It seems more concrete to me that way. I then break it down to what I want to get accomplished in the next 12 months to keep me on task. But I'm not advocating that my process will work for you. We are all unique, and figuring out a way that keeps you focused and on track will be highly beneficial to getting what you have determined is a priority to you. There are many ways to create your vision or plan. Don't be afraid to dream big. Find a moment where your mind and surroundings are quiet, and then pick one of these 3 ways and create your vision. Number 1, you can create a visual action board. This is where you buy a poster board and also some of your favorite magazines. Cut out pictures that represent what you really want to experience in your life, business, and/or career that would make it ideal. Put your poster board in a place where you can look at it constantly to remind you of what you really want to experience. Or number 2, create a creation box. Find a box that you would like to use and then cut out pictures from some of your favorite magazines that inspires what really matters to you, what you would love to experience, and then decorate your box with them. And put other pictures inside your box. Put your box somewhere where you will look through it constantly to remind yourself of what you really want. And number 3, write out your vision statement. Pictures are okay for me, but I prefer writing it down. It somehow solidifies what I want further when I put pen to paper. Write down first, when my life is ideal, I am. And then after completing that, write down, when my business and/or career is ideal, I am. And then continue to write down your answers. Keep it positive. Visualization can seem a bit mystical, yes? Except that studies have shown that visualization can help enhance cognitive processes, such as attention, concentration, and memory. It has also been found to be effective in reducing stress and anxiety levels. This is based on neuroscience, how the brain works. When combined in the context of vision and strategic action, it can seem like magic, but it is just the results of us using more of our brain's potential in a structured, practical system. Mike Tranter is a neuroscientist at the University of California, San Diego, specializing in the neural circuitry within the brain. And he explains, and I quote, "Your brain naturally uses a form of visualization every day. The frontal cortex is heavily involved in decision-making and future planning. Throughout the day, you make decisions, whether consciously or not, based on expected outcomes and potential consequences to your actions. Visualization enables you to take control of this process and direct yourself to scenarios where you decide not only the results, but the choices and actions during the process. When you close your eyes and visualize something, you engage the neural circuitry in much the same way as if you were to really experience it. For example, visualizing your partner will activate the visual cortex in the brain, similar to if you're seeing them in front of you. Your brain doesn't care that you are not actually having the experience. Your neurons are still activated." End of quote. There is a reason why the best athletes use visualization to stay on top of their careers. Because it works. Of course, creating your vision alone doesn't help you to accomplish your goals. You have to be prepared to break your vision down to goals and action steps and then putting in the work. Every tiny step brings you closer to accomplishing your goals. Don't demean the small steps. Even if you spend a half an hour in researching, or make a quick phone call, or possibly writing one email in a week related to your goals, that's time well spent if it brings you closer to accomplishing what really matters to you. Every step should be celebrated. I will be having a workshop and would love to see you. You can register for my website at reneeperrybusiness.com, and it is also on my Facebook page. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, feedback, or ideas about future podcasts, feel free to contact me. You can reach me using my contact form on my website or email me at reneeperrycoaching@yahoo.com. I would love to hear from you. Listen, when my 3 kids were still home with me, it was important to me to have dinner with the family every night together. I also attended all of their school activities and took them places they wanted or needed to go. They were all involved in something. My kids and family always came first. I also had 3 businesses to keep up with. And in the midst of all of this, I was taking care of my mom, who was in stage 4 colorectal cancer. And I'm not even mentioning all of the small stuff. I'm sure your life is just as crazy. I know how busy life gets, and the only way I have been able to keep my sanity and keep doing what I love and feeling a purpose beyond my family has been to have a plan to keep me focused on the main parts of my life that matter the most, like my family and businesses, and not get caught up in a million other things that were always getting dangled in my face. My coaching was the one thing that would get put on hold because honestly, it was the least important out of all of these things, but I knew I could jump back in at any time, and that's exactly what I have always done. Your vision can change and evolve through time. We have events that happen in our lives that are out of our control, such as our kids grow up, divorce, financial loss, death of a loved one, illness of ourselves or a loved one, a new baby, moving. You get the idea. These events can create roadblocks, but they can also make us rethink about what really matters to us. Take the time to write out your vision, goals, and action steps to create a plan that will keep you focused and on track to what you really want, what matters the most to you, and to what your priorities are. You are worth the investment. Life is short. Don't leave this world with any missed opportunities, experiences, or regrets. Thank you for joining me today, and remember to take a few minutes out of your busy day and create your vision about what would make your life and then business or career ideal. The world is waiting for you.